Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Nick.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Back on the streamboat.
Yeah.
How are you?
In actual real life, I'm very good. Thank
Good.
you.
I'm glad.
We're here for The Wave to talk
Yes.
some news, some chat, and whatever the hell
Pretty
we
much
fancy.
everything we can want to talk about the goings in and around Netflix. And
Yeah.
the world of entertainment. The wider world of entertainment other
Sure.
than Netflix.
Sure. What do we start with?
We usually just have a chat, don't we? A bit of a catch up.
We do.
What have you been up to?
I went out with you the other night.
We did. We went out for a lovely meal.
We went for a Korean barbecue.
We did.
It was absolutely fantastic.
It was epic. It was one of the best meals I've had in a very long time.
We cooked our own meat at the table.
There was a little barbecue in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I wasn't expecting that. And I was very like, oh, this is awesome. The scrambled eggs were the highlight, though, and I didn't even eat any of them.
Trough of egg. Yeah.
You got a nice trough of egg around the fire. This bloke just turns up with a teapot, pours some orange liquid around the edge of the fire.
I'm glad I said to him, what's
What is
that going to be?
and he's
Otherwise,
like,
I'd have just supped a raw
oh,
egg.
in 15 minutes, that'll be scrambled egg. And we were like, that's like magic. And it was. It was all magical, wasn't it? It was great.
I had so much fun.
It was in Coventry. Check it out. I can't. What's it called? Jinson or Jinson?
Jinson.
Jinson. Check it out. It's amazing. If you're ever in Coventry, it's the place to go.
Yeah, that was excellent. Sorry, I've just drifted off thinking about
Thinking
food.
about meat.
Yeah.
There was a lot of meat. We ate a lot of meat that night. But no, it was epic. Yeah, it was nice to see you socially again.
Yeah.
We're socialising a lot more now outside of the podcast area.
It's always good.
Always good. Have you been up to anything else?
Just trying to navigate life generally
Yeah.
as we slowly march towards the festive season.
Yeah, we're coming
I
up on
guess.
the old festivities, aren't we? Were you all ready? Kids all ready?
I mean, they're hype. I've got an advent calendar. I started that.
Have you? I haven't got one this year.
Yeah.
I need
I've
to
got.
get one.
Do you want one? I've got a spare one.
Yes.
Fine.
Deal. Thank you.
I'll bring it over.
Excellent. Have you used the Santa won't come threat on the kids yet?
Not had to yet.
No.
It will be a
But it's
matter of
coming.
time.
It's definitely coming.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted to mention something about last week's movie,
Okay.
which was What Happened to Monday,
Yes.
which you can find the episode on this very feed.
Yes, you will.
Uh,
The last one before
yeah.
this one.
And I never thought of this at the time.
Yeah.
You know, the Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
they must have had really boring lives or good lives because they
They
wouldn't
never
have
got
had to go to work.
Oh, I had never thought of that either. That's a very good point. That is a very... And Saturday would be the one... She was the party animal, though, wasn't
Yeah.
she? She was the one going out and partying. Sunday would have had a very boring life. That's true. I'd never thought of that. That's a very good point.
Anyway,
Anyway.
just by the by, but it didn't occur to me till earlier on today, actually.
It's an excellent movie, though, and you should definitely go and check it out.
But
if you
it's
get a chance.
deservedly currently top of the stream.
It is, yeah.
This week, on this very feed on Thursday, we will be talking about American Mary.
Yeah.
A very different film to What Happened to Monday.
A very different film to
But-
anything I've ever seen before.
One I am equally as excited to talk about.
We've had that a lot this season, hasn't there? There's been a lot of films where it's really exciting to talk about them.
Yeah.
There've been some good, epic viewings so far.
I know I won't spoil what I thought of it, but it was definitely memorable.
Yeah, it was.
This was a wild card choice of one of our Patreons.
Yes, Mr. Ross
Cook.
Cook.
Come back on Thursday and we'll talk about American Mary.
I told him he'd got some questions to answer, and the
Fine. questions
should probably be asked by a psychotherapist. Yeah, come and check it out on Thursday. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about that one, I think.
I think so.
Netflix news?
Sure.
We got much this week? Got a bit? Ooh,
We've got a bit. Do you know Rupert Grint?
Yes.
Well, Rupert Grint has been lined up and signed on the dotted line to star in an upcoming Netflix anthology series
Okay.
called Cabinet of Curiosities. It is from Guillermo del Toro.
Ooh, interesting.
Um,
The title sounds intriguing, and Guillermo del Toro is always interesting.
so it's short horror stories, basically.
Yeah. Excellent.
This project has quite the cast attached.
Okay.
Rupert Grint, we've already talked about him.
We know him.
Essie Davis from The Babadook.
Great film.
Ben Barnes.
He was in Shadow and Bone.
Yes, and I think he was in the Narnia films.
Okay.
Andrew Lincoln.
Of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, him.
Excellent.
But there's more.
Okay.
Crispin Glover from Back to the Future
Interesting.
is in there. Peter Weller, RoboCop himself, is going to be in
This
this.
is quite a cast.
Tim Blake Nelson, and a ton more. there are various directors. A couple of them stick out.
Okay.
Del Toro's the showrunner. He's not directing any, but he is running the show, and 2 of the stories were from his brain.
Okay, so he's written a couple of them.
One of the directors is Vincenzo Natali. Do you remember that name?
Has he done one of our films?
He has.
Which one?
He was the director of Cube.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Interesting. I love Cube.
So it definitely has horror
A
form.
horror pedigree. This sounds really interesting. I'm excited by this.
Yeah.
It's going to be 8 episodes.
Yes. Del Toro always is that sort of person who is always been like, oh, I'm working on this, I'm going to do this. And then 2 out of the 10 things he's
nothing
working
ever
on
turns
up. So yeah, I'm very excited about this as well.
Okay.
Stick
We'll
around
keep
for that.
Do we got any
next
idea?
year.
Next year. Okay. I will say one thing about Rupert Grint. Don't you think he always looks wet?
He does always look wet. Like he's
something about him.
like someone's just pushed him in a swimming
Yeah,
pool.
or he's just somebody's tipped water over him or
Yeah.
something. He always looks wet. I don't really know why. I've
That
always thought that about him.
is an excellent observation.
It's like how people always say that Tom Holland always looks like he's got a frog in his mouth because he's got like puffy cheeks. Bless him.
Yeah, Rupert Grint is very wet.
He is a very wet man.
Oh,
Who's this guy on my
That's,
screen?
the mugshot. There's a mugshot on
Mugshot
your
on
screen.
my screen.
Uh,
It's a beardy bald man.
a man from Liverpool did a crime.
Oh no, what's he done?
It was a
That's not news. That's always happening.
I thought I'd bait you and you fell right in. He's done a Netflix crime.
Okay.
A 42-year-old software developer helped thousands of people to watch Netflix, Sky, BT Sports without paying.
Ooh, naughty boy.
He created a software platform that allowed thousands to watch premium content for free and shared his account details for Netflix.
Interesting. Naughty man.
Pleaded guilty to multiple counts of fraud and copyright offences, and he's been sent down for 30 months.
Wow, that's a big term as well. Over 2 years.
So
He must have made some good money off that.
don't do a crime, people.
Don't do crimes.
Supremacy was his software.
I've not heard of that.
And he also did a lot of YouTube videos showing people how to install it. So he wasn't too difficult to find by all accounts, I think.
To be fair, there's a lot of those sort of bits of software out there.
There really
I think
are.
they might have made him a bit of a scapegoat on
Yeah.
that. Yep, stop doing crimes, Liverpudlians.
And anyone else.
And anyone
Lots
else.
of people do
Yeah, but if
crime.
we start in one area,
Oh, fine.
you can expand it out, can't you? And that's probably a good place than any to start.
The next piece of news
Yep.
is some UK commissions from Netflix.
Oh, okay. Some British stuff.
Yeah. 5 different series they've just commissioned in the last week,
Okay.
which will be made or created in the UK. Would you like to know about them?
Yes, please.
Supercell
Oh, what's that? Sounds exciting.
is a 6-part sci-fi
Okay.
written by Rapman.
Rap Man?
Yeah.
Who's Rap Man?
Um,
Is he a rapper?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with Rapman's work.
No, mate.
The series will follow a random group of ordinary people from South London who unexpectedly develop superpowers. The only connection between them being they are all black.
Okay.
So,
It's like a Black Misfits.
yeah, it does sound a bit like that.
Yeah, it does.
I quite liked Misfits
did
until
back in the day.
the last series.
I don't think I ever finished it.
Yeah, it went off the...
The first couple of series
the
were
cliff
really
a
good,
bit.
though, weren't they?
Yeah, so that's the first one. Netflix has also commissioned something that has been a movie before,
Okay.
but not for Netflix. They've commissioned a series version of One Day, which I think was a movie starring Anne Hathaway
I'll take your word for it.
several years ago, where it's about a couple who
Yeah.
meet on the same day every year, and it's about them sort of falling in love and
Just one day a year.
yeah,
Why?
they like check in. We check in on them on the same day every
Oh,
year.
okay.
I think I have read the book years and years ago, and I can't really remember.
Okay.
I never saw the film. Yeah, that does not have any stars yet. But yeah, that has been commissioned. We are also getting a wonderfully titled new show
Okay.
called The Fuck It Bucket.
Nice. I use that term sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, at work. It's like, if I can't be bothered to do anything, I'll just throw it in the bucket bucket.
Well, The Fuck It Bucket centres on a 17-year-old London girl who rejoins sixth form after a hospital stay for anorexia. So it is actually,
That doesn't sound as light-hearted as we maybe have just made out.
as the title, but that's definitely going to grab a bit of attention just on the title alone.
Yeah.
And if it actually ends up being like worthwhile and good, then all the more power to it.
Definitely. I'm getting a sex education kind of vibe from it already. I don't really know why.
We are also getting a show from the writer of The Iron Lady and Shame is a lady called Abby Morgan. We're getting a show called, not quite as excitingly titled, Eric.
Eric.
It is a thriller about a man in 1980s New York who finds solace when his son goes missing by striking up a friendship with the monster that lives under his bed.
Ooh. That sounds intriguing as well. Is the monster called Eric? Because I would really like that.
I'm presuming the monster is going to be called Eric rather than the dead son or the father. So,
It's got to be, hasn't it?
I think that's a fair guess.
Wow. Sounds good. These all sound really good.
Yeah, quite interesting. The fifth one is from a guy called Charlie Covell. It is inspired by Greek mythology, and it's a series called Chaos. Covell wrote The End of the Fucking World.
Oh, that was a great show.
There is no synopsis for it, and my Greek mythology is not up to scratch enough
Same.
to know who Chaos was, but I'm suggesting
Somebody chaotic.
Yeah.
My Greek mythology has lapsed as well, to be fair.
So yeah, all of those are either set in, made in, or created by UK talent.
That's a really good list.
And
I like a list,
all been commissioned this week.
And they're all going to Netflix.
Yep.
Excellent. The internet's come back on now, so you can continue reading from the screen if you wish.
That's fine. I will play it fast and loose.
Go for it.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yep.
Do you like him?
Yep.
Do you know him?
Yes.
Should have asked that the other way around. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Look at him. He's a beautiful man.
We didn't consider him when we were talking about the Chris's the other week.
No, I kind of don't class him as one of the mysterious Chris's.
Because you can tell who he is.
Because I can tell who he is, yeah.
I know
guess
exactly
he should be.
what you mean.
I do sometimes get him mixed up with his brothers.
That's fair.
But
that's fair. He is obviously most famous for being quite an important Avenger, but also until recently was a star of the biggest Netflix movie of all time, Extraction.
Yep.
If you count it a certain way. He has signed on for another Netflix movie.
Okay.
He's already doing a sequel to Extraction.
Yes.
But he's also got another Netflix project lined up.
Okay.
It's a sci-fi movie called Escape from Spiderhead.
Escape from Spiderhead?
Yeah.
Ooh, where's Spiderhead?
It's a prison.
Okay.
And the synopsis reads that in exchange for reducing their sentences, 2 convicts offer to volunteer as medical subjects for a radical new drug. I mean, that can't go wrong, can
it?
No. The drug has the ability to alter emotions, and for one subject, it takes effect on their ability to love, leading them to question their own feelings and whether or not they are real or manufactured. Chris Hemsworth is in it. Miles Teller will also star.
Oh, wow.
And Journey Smollett.
Great name. Interesting. That sounds quite good as well.
It does.
There's a lot of good stuff coming next year by the sounds of this, doesn't there?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, exciting.
I think that's all my Netflix news.
Okay.
I have some more general movie news.
There's a brief bit of Netflix news that I'll just drop in here.
Okay.
Red Notice
has
toppled Bird Box from the top of the Netflix all-time list that they're currently using. Bird Box has obviously been there for quite a few years, and Red Notice has destroyed it over the last few weeks.
I saw a quip on Twitter this week at some point where someone said that Red Notice was the film that the most people have seen in the world but can't remember.
It isn't very memorable, I must admit. So Bird Box was at the top, has been at the top for a long time with 282 million hours viewed in its first 28 days. Red Notice currently has 328 million in its first 28 days, but still has 10 days of those 28 days left as of time of record. So it's annihilated Bird Box as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be edging, if not passing 400 million, I would have thought.
Yeah, possibly even more. So yeah.
Which will be quite the new mark to set.
Yeah, Bird Box been there, 2018 was Bird Box?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been there a long time. There's films like Extraction, The Irishman, The Kissing Booth 2, none of those got past it. Even Army of the Dead didn't get anywhere near it. So
I feel like Army of the Dead's an interesting one because I feel like the hype was Netflix really put the machine behind it, and it just never really caught on.
I think the Army of the Dead came and went within a week. It was like everybody watched it, and then nobody ever spoke about it.
It had no
again.
staying power.
As soon as everybody had seen it, that was it. Nobody watched it anymore. It seemed to just come and go straight away.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Right, should we move to some non-Netflix stuff?
Yeah. I know you.
The internet's gone off again.
That's fine. I can cover.
Go for
I know that you are a man
I am.
who
Good spot.
who's very interested in cryptocurrency and all this sort of.
Not so much. I'm not gonna lie. I would be if I thought I had any idea what the hell it was.
Well, along a similar lines, a producer in Hollywood by the name of Niels Juul, he was a producer who was involved in The Irishman, has announced that he is trying to make Hollywood's first feature film funded entirely by non-fungible tokens.
NFTs interest me a little bit more than cryptocurrency, I must admit.
Well, if you're interested, you could invest and become a producer in this movie.
How much is that going to cost?
He is hoping to raise between $8 and $10 million by selling 10,000 NFTs to the public.
Okay.
And investors. So should show. I mean, I don't know if anyone doesn't know. An NFT is basically a certificate saying you own this, isn't it? It's like a digital.
It's like a digital file that you technically own.
So in this case, it's like you own a 10,000th of this film.
Okay.
Basically, to simplify it, really.
Yeah. So when they sell off those 1 square foot of land in Scotland and you become a lord, it's
exactly
that sort of thing. It's the same thing, but you become a producer, not a lord.
So and this producer's just sort of said, big franchise films, studio backing, no problem, but it can, as we know, it can take years and years to get an independent movie off the ground because you've got to secure your funding and get enough money to get things rolling. He said, "This film is ready to go. I've got a big name star. I've got a director. But I will not be revealing their identities until we announce them at the Berlin Film Festival in February. Shooting will begin in April."
I'd love to find out who he's got. I'm really excited.
Yeah, investors have been told they will get a cut of any box office profits and licensing rights, plus a chance to visit filming locations, meet the actors, and attend the premiere.
Wow. And he's selling 10,000 of them?
Yeah.
To a premiere. And so 10,000 people are going to a premiere. It's going to be interesting.
The
credits for that film are going to run for hours as well.
Really are.
It's a 5-hour film that's only on for 90 minutes.
I presume that your level of investment would determine your...
height
you
on
get
the
to
credits.
Shake the hand of whoever's starring in it.
I wonder who it will be.
Yeah. We'll keep our eye on that because I thought that was really interesting.
Same.
We'll see if that gets off the ground or not.
The internet's back on.
Couple of bits of news about upcoming movies, which I thought sounded quite interesting. Mostly this one, I just wanted to write the title "Attack of the Clones" on the notes for our episode that we use. But Karen Gillan is going to star in a movie with Breaking Bad's own Aaron Paul.
Cool.
She's going to fight herself,
right,
in this movie.
Okay. So she's going to be a clone of herself.
Well, I don't know why they've not called the movie Clone. It's going to be called Jewel.
Okay.
And yeah, she will essentially battle herself.
Like Will Smith did a few years ago.
Kind of, yeah. So she plays a lady called Sarah who commissions a clone of herself. This is set in the near future. Because she discovers that she has a terminal disease. She thinks the clone will help with her family cope with her passing. But Sarah makes a miraculous recovery, leaving the problem of having a clone sticking around the house.
It's like Multiplicity with, what's his name?
Society has deemed humans cannot coexist with their clones, so they must battle to the death to decide which one of them must go on. It's like an episode of Rick and Morty.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So, yeah, that's out next year as well. I thought that just sounded like a bit of a laugh.
Yeah,
if it's not played too seriously, I think
you've got to
have
play
a lot of fun with it.
You've got to play that for jokes, haven't you?
And I think her and Aaron Paul are both usually really watchable.
Yeah,
so that did tickle my fancy, I've got to say.
That does sound good. That picture makes it look silly as well. So there's a man holding a mirror. Yeah, I'm excited. That sounds good. We'll keep our eye on that one as well.
Someone that I know you like.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about for a few weeks.
We've not. I did read this news.
He's kind of our patron saint.
He certainly is.
And that man is Nicolas Cage.
What a hero.
He has just been cast in an upcoming movie. Some may say the role he was born to play. Nicolas Cage is joining the storied ranks of actors to play Dracula.
I think this might be a genius bit of casting. I really do.
He is going to play Dracula in an upcoming movie called Renfield. Renfield is the character of basically Dracula's assistant.
Yeah.
Who will be played by Nicholas Hoult.
Which again is a great bit of casting.
No plot details. other than to say that it's set in the modern day.
Oh, right, okay.
And is said to have a comedic tone.
You cannot do
script.
a film where Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula and not have a comedic tone to it.
It's going to be directed by Chris McKay, who directed Amazon Prime's big movie recently, The Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
And interestingly, one of the producers on the project is Robert Kirkman, who is the creator of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that is exciting.
It's kind of like you hear of... You don't need much detail, do you? But say, Nicolas Cage is doing this, and it just sort of makes you go, oh.
It just makes you think, that would be fun.
That could be really fun if they let him go.
Yeah. You've got to let him go these days, haven't you? But because otherwise you end up with something like 211. But yeah, let him go. Let him be Dracula. That'd be amazing.
Sure.
Let him go and be fucking Cage as Dracula. You got a great film on your hands there. I'm excited for that.
I could drink blood for hours. That's what you can say. Did you ever see Pig?
I haven't seen it yet.
Because I haven't written this down as news, but I did also see this week. Unfortunately, the star of Pig, who played the pig, has died.
Oh no, that's a shame.
But has left lots of little pig babies. So
piglets.
Yeah, that's what they're called. She shone briefly, but hot.
Rest in peace, Pig.
Yeah.
I am going to watch Pig at some point. I just haven't got to it yet.
Same.
Excellent. Is that all the news?
That's all the news.
That is the
We
news.
can't top Cage's Dracula, so...
No, that's the headline, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the end of a news show when they do the funny story at the end. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've watched a couple of things I wanted to mention.
Okay.
I've continued with Hellbound.
I've started Hellbound.
Okay.
I've done 1 and 2.
Oh, that's good. I'm 2 ahead of you.
Okay.
So I've done 4. What do you think?
I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's good.
Interest peaked?
Yes, very much so. Very much. I'll talk about it in a minute, but I got distracted by another show.
That's fine.
In the meantime, but no, I'm all in on it.
I thought the first episode was really strong.
Yeah.
A good setup. And then 2 and 3 do slow down a bit.
2 did slow it down.
Episode 4
ramps right up again.
Yeah, very interesting developments. It's much more up my street than Squid Game. To make that lazy comparison just because they're from the same country.
It's not. It is such a lazy comparison because there couldn't be more different.
No, they're nothing alike. This
is
a police procedural. They just happen to be chasing a load of ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah.
Or whatever they are. We will find out. It's grittier. It's deeper than Squid Game.
Yeah. I agree.
I've really enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed the first 2 for definite.
Yeah.
In the second one, because it's about these monsters that you get told when you're going to die.
Correct.
The
time and date.
And time, and then when that time comes, 3 smoke monster gorilla things appear and murder you. This woman gets it, and then in the second episode, they do like a live TV broadcast of it. I thought it was really fascinating because that was exactly what would happen if this was
the
to
media
happen,
would pay.
the media
They would say,
all over it.
"We'll give your family £10 million.
Yeah, let us live
let's
stream your death
stream
on
your
TV."
Yeah.
And then there was some VIPs that got to pay, which was very Squid Game, to pay to be on the front row to watch it. And then the episode just finishes when you can hear these things coming in the background. I was all in. I was like, yeah,
neat idea, isn't it?
very much so. But I got distracted by another show.
Okay.
I started watching Elves.
Okay. Is that like the Will Ferrell sequel?
No, very much not. So it's Danish. It's a Danish TV show that's appeared on Netflix this week. There are only 25-minute episodes, and there's only 5 of them.
All right.
So this feels to me like...
Sounds festive. Must be sweet and lovely.
No. It is Christmas-based. Okay. It is based at Christmas, but that is a coincidence. It feels like there's a film here that's been cut down into 5 25-minute episodes.
Oh, it's like Batal.
Very much like Batal. Because, again, everything follows on from the last episode. There's no flashbacks or anything. I think it was made as a film that's been cut up.
Right.
Basically, the premise is this family go on holiday to this little island in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the sea or wherever, in Daneland.
Where islands tend to be.
In Denmark. Daneland.
You're an absolute brute.
Oh, I am a brute. In Denmark, and it's Christmas, so they go for a Christmas getaway in this cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
And they hit something when they get there, but they're not sure what it is.
Okay.
And then it all unravels that this community are caging these elf things that live in the forest, and they're trying to get out, but they can't get out. So there's like this battle between the islanders and the elves, and it all explodes and it all kicks off. And the last 2 episodes are wonderful.
Oh, cool!
So
check that.
the animation on the little elf because there's a tiny little baby one
Yeah.
that's quite sweet, and that's really cute. But then the big ones are not. But it can be quite violent. It's a really good story as well.
Not for kids.
Very much not for kids. But I've really enjoyed it. I finished it last night, and I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was really good fun.
Sweet.
So it would take you 2.5 hours to do it. So yeah, I watched all of that, and it was great.
Excellent.
So that's why I've not done more Hellbound. So I'm fully.
That's fine.
Although Lost in Space has appeared this week.
I've never watched that. It's always been on my list, and I've never. But now it's done. It's the last season.
The third and final season has appeared this week. Yeah, so I'm going to start that this week.
Okay.
So I really enjoy that show. It's great.
Cool. I do want to watch that.
I don't want to get distracted from Hellbound, but I probably will. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I've got a couple on the go at the minute, which is quite rare.
No, I
to
don't
sort
usually
of
do
dip
that.
in and out. But I've also watched the first 2 episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
That's on my list. How is that?
I thought the first episode was great.
Okay.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's very stylish. John Cho is just being cool, getting hench, shooting people. It's really stylistic. Got a great soundtrack. I thought it really took the foot off the pedal in episode 2, but that might be fine in the context of this season because I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I will, definitely go and check out the rest.
Same. I would get.
I've seen quite a few articles and comments over the week saying, "Wow, yeah, it's good, but either it's not the original, or I've seen sort of the contrast saying it's too similar to the original." You can't win with people, can you?
You can't be too similar.
I've never seen the anime,
Same.
So I'm on a.
We should be judging from fresh eyes.
Yeah, and I had fun.
Good. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. I finished Blown Away Christmas.
Same. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Really good fun. I think the person that won was the right choice.
She was great, and when it came out, when she said,
"Yeah,"
I can't remember. It might have been the 3rd episode that she can barely see because she's got a degenerative eye condition.
Yeah, she's been looking into flames for an entire life.
How are you doing this?
And doing it well as well.
And she was a rightful winner. She was the best one.
She got
I thought.
best in blow they call it. Don't they? She got best in blow in the first 2 episodes, and then obviously won in the 4th episode. And she was robbed in the 3rd episode. For me, I think she should have won all 4 of them. So
got to create some tension.
Yeah, you have. But no, I thought it was great. It's a really good little show. It's fun. It's interesting to see all the different techniques they use to make these things.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Blown Away. That's all of it I've seen now.
I've never seen, like I said, those Christmas ones, the only ones I've actually watched.
Especially watched the first season. First season's really good.
Okay.
The second one's not so much, but the first.
I kind of like the guy who was in the Christmas ones, and I think he's from the first season.
With the moustache.
With the sunglasses.
Yes.
And I was just like, this guy just looks like Adrian Brody.
Did a bit.
Just blowing glass all over the place.
There's some really good characters in the first couple of seasons as well. So yeah.
Cool.
Check out Blown Away. Anything else? Have you watched anything else?
No.
I've not been to the cinema because Cineworld's app's broken.
Oh, okay.
Which is annoying. And Dexter. Dexter's episode 4 of Dexter.
Yeah.
Is by far the best one they've done so far.
Oh, great.
It's really peaking. I'm really impressed with it.
How many is there?
10 altogether.
Okay.
So we're nearly halfway, but
is the plan to do more? Is it a sort of case of see how this one is received?
I don't know. I don't think that's been announced.
Okay.
I don't want them to keep going with it. I'd like a resolution.
I just didn't know if it was a finite plan to sort of redo the ending, or if
I hope that's what it is. I don't want them to keep going with more and more seasons of it.
Sure.
It doesn't need that. It just needed a way to finish it properly.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're getting there, but we'll see. We're only 4 in, but the 4th one was great.
Okay.
What's next? Should we extend our odds?
Yes.
Episodes 3 and 4 of Terror Along the Dotted Line.
Yeah.
What a show this is.
Oh, do you know what? I'm a little bit in love.
It's great, isn't it?
It's absolutely fantastic.
I watched them both yesterday. I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just carry on here. I was a bit disappointed that I had to not watch any more of it.
Absolutely the same.
It's great. I did watch these 2 in English as well.
What do you think?
You're right. It's just because it's just one voice actor.
Yeah.
Although it technically isn't. There are more voices in it, but it's one guy just talking all the way through. It doesn't matter. And he's doing a performance as good as the original guy would have done. It just works and it's great. He's really, really good in it.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah.
It's
so good.
It's funny. It's It looks
heartwarming.
brilliant.
The animation style is amazing.
I can't recommend it highly enough.
I agree.
I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna make my wife watch it as well.
Your wife would really enjoy it. I feel like
when he's going the bit. I'm not sure which episode it is. I think it's the third one when he's Zero's going through how he was a tutor.
Yeah.
For some time, and I just hope I had an impact on these kids. And then one of them turns out to be a Nazi. That just really made me laugh. And he's a dinosaur for no reason.
Yeah. That's brilliant. And the one's got 2 heads.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't even want to talk about what happens in the episodes because I don't want to spoil it for people.
No, go and find it.
They're on for 15 minutes and
Yeah.
it's well worth it. The one where he's talking about, like you say, being a tutor, it's wonderful. It's really, really good.
There's just his observations on life. There's a whole bit that they do on ordering at a restaurant, and the sort of panic he has when he's got to choose between dish A and dish B.
Yeah.
Yeah, his friends is just like totally. Well, I don't care. My decisions have no action.
He chooses
no
dish A.
consequences.
He chooses dish A and tells his friend to choose dish B, and then his friend doesn't, and he's like, it ruins
His
life.
friend just goes, "Well, why would I do that?
I don't want that.
I'm gonna have this and this."
That's great.
It's really good.
Did you know it's based on a graphic novel?
Yes.
So it's based on an Italian graphic novel, which was turned into a feature film a few years ago.
Oh, no
So
way.
there's a live action version of it.
Brilliant.
It's called The Prophecy of the Armadillo. And it's an obviously Italian live action version of it. But the poster is virtually exactly the same. He's even got the same T-shirt on. And then there's a man dressed up like the holiday armadillo from Friends. It's written by a guy called...
His conscience is an armadillo, guys.
Sorry, we've not mentioned
before.
It's written by a guy called Zero Calcare.
Yeah.
That's all one word.
Cartoonist,
That's all one word. He's a cartoonist. Do you know what that means in Italian?
No, what does it mean?
No lime scale.
Okay.
Because apparently he had to come up with this name on the fly, and there was an advert on for a limescale remover, and it was called Zero Calcare, and that's why he uses that name. But yeah, he wrote these graphic novels, then he turned it into a film, and then it's been turned into Terror Along the Dotted Line after that. So we might need to try and find the the film.
I'd be tempted to dig out that live action movie.
It's gone down on IMDb. You know when we started it said it was 9.3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's now at 8.9. So some
movement.
people have started to watch it, but not like it as much as it was liked before.
I've kept a sneaky bit of news back.
Oh,
because
a sneaky bit. I've still got no internet.
I've got a bit of news that is related to Terror Along the Dotted Line.
Okay.
And that is that the show is now the most watched show in Italy on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Above everything else?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yep.
It's not as bottom of the stream in Italy. Then.
No, it's going great guns over there.
I feel like
really good to hear.
At some point it's gonna hit. You know when some things just all of a sudden just go. I feel like that's gonna happen.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially because I can't speak for the other languages. If the other dubs are as good a job as they've done with the English one,
yeah.
It blew my mind how good it is because I started off with the same as you. I started off I thought I'm going to watch it in Italian with the subtitles because that's what I do.
That's what you do, yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'll just try it. And I kept the subtitles on for a bit, but had the English on. I was like, no, this is a great performance. I'm getting way more out of this.
Yeah. I think you're right. And because there's not loads of them and because it's animation probably helps as well.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're just watching it anyway. It just feels like it's in English.
Yeah.
And it's great. It took me, when he mentioned Rome a few times, it took me a bit like, oh yeah, of course, this is in Italy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like it. But no, it's great. It's great. It's great. I don't even know what else to say. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go and watch the next two.
You get all these sort of recollections, but there is also a sort of threaded tale through it, aren't they, of them going on this trip. So yeah, we'll see what happens. 2 left.
So next
hopefully
week
it'll come back for more at some point.
Hopefully. Well, apparently the graphic novels have been going for a while. There's a lot of them. So there's a lot of story to tell.
Yeah. Go and watch Terror Along the Dotted Line. It's
Please
brilliant.
do. It's great. There's 15-minute episodes. So
check it
an
out.
hour
on
and a
Netflix.
half if you wanted to do the whole thing. Cool. Have we got anything else to do?
I've got a game.
Oh, excellent. We've not done a game for ages.
I know. Because
I've missed your game.
as we mentioned at the start, we're watching American Mary on Thursday. A horror movie.
Yeah, body horror movie.
Yeah. So I thought I'd bring back an old favourite game. With a slight twist. We've played before, Possibly we called it this. I'm not really sure. I can't remember all the titles. Something like Fright or Bullshite.
Oh, that doesn't sound familiar, but I like it.
Where I've got a list of movies, and you have to tell me if it's a real movie, Fright, or a made-up movie, Bullshite. But I'm not just going to give you a horror. I'm not just going to give you a title, sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a synopsis as well.
Okay.
Because I had more time on my hands earlier. And I got quite into doing this.
Okay, good. I'm excited.
So I have 5.
So what's it called?
Fright or Bullshite.
Let's go.
I will read out the title and the synopsis, and you tell me.
Go for it.
What you think. Let's start with Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles.
An escaped mental patient, nicknamed Dr. Giggles because of his hideous laugh, stalks the small town of Moor High to avenge his father, who was stoned to death by the townspeople in front of him as a child.
Oh, sounds good. Fright.
Correct.
Oh, really?
From 1992.
Oh, sounds really good.
You can go and check it out if it's available anywhere to stream. I do not. I do not know if it is.
We'll check it out.
But it does exist.
Mr. Giggles.
Okay, good start. The next one is Hood of Horror. This is a horror anthology as well. We started off the show talking about an upcoming one. Is this real or not? Hood of Horror is an anthology movie narrated and hosted by Snoop Dogg.
Right.
It stars across 3 separate stories Ernie Hudson, Danny Trejo, Billy D. Williams, and Jason Alexander.
Okay. If you've made this up, that's impressive, but I really want to see it.
It's basically Tales from the Crypt, but with that cast.
Fright.
Correct.
Really?
2006.
I really want to see that. That sounds awesome. I didn't think it was going to be real because you're wearing a hoodie, and I thought he's just.
You thought I literally
just looked around the room. And got
I'm not making them up. I'm not making them up on the spot.
No, but you've been wearing that earlier, surely.
Oh yeah, I just went.
And I know you've got Snoop Dogg cookbook in your house, so you've seen that on the shelf.
So the next one is called Table Pen Laptop. No, not really. The next one is called Shaman at the Convention.
Okay.
A sci-fi convention is laid to siege by a zombie horde when an evil shaman raises the dead at the newly opened venue, which has been built on an ancient tribal burial ground. Can the assortment of nerds armed only with their toy weapons fight back?
That sounds exactly like my sort of film. But I feel like I would have known about it. So I'm going with Bullshite.
Correct.
Oh, really?
I kind of want to make it, though.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Let's just go to Comic-Con and make it.
Good. Well, that's 100% so far.
I've always been good at your games.
2 left. Attack of the Puppet People.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mr. Franz, a mad scientist, shrinks people into puppet dolls to help fight his loneliness. His secretary, Sally, her boyfriend, Bob, and Police Sergeant Patterson investigate the terror caused by the evil doctor.
Oh, what's it called?
Attack of the Puppet People.
I like the synopsis. I'm not so keen on the title. Fright.
Correct.
Really?
From 1958.
That needs a remake.
I really want to watch this.
Me too. I really want to remake it.
I'm very excited by that.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Can you get a clean sweep? This is the final one. It's called Dogs Blinking Twice.
Okay.
A once-in-a-generation lunar eclipse opens a portal to hell that unleashes a hellhound into a small rural town. With 2 blinks of its eyes, the beast is able to teleport through space and time, resulting in a battle across the ages.
Oh, that also sounds great. Fright.
Bullshit.
You've made that up?
Yeah. I saw
You crazy bastard. You saw a dog.
Yeah.
I saw a dog. I was like, what would be funny if that went through the agent blinking?
And then I thought about that dog movie we watched, and then thought if you had a teleporting dog, that'd be really fun.
I love your imagination. Let's make that.
Okay, fine.
Gutted.
4-1.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Okay.
Not good.
No one else made dogs blinking twice. That's ours.
That's how it's copyrighted. Cool.
Good. I enjoyed that.
Good game. I enjoyed that. I'll find out the posters and get them up in the Discord and on
Okay.
Instagram for the 3 that were real.
Yeah, that's Attack of the Puppet People, Dr. Giggles, and Hood of Horror.
Hood of Horror is a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do that. I'll find all those posters. What are we watching this week?
American Mary.
Are we done with the show? We are.
We are
aren't we?
done.
Yeah, so go and watch. You've got a couple of days left to go and watch American Mary, although maybe don't. And we'll come back on Thursday to talk about that, I guess.
We sure will.
Let's do it.
I'm not saying don't go and watch it.
No, I'm not either. I was being facetious.
Go and watch it. It's something.
It's certainly something.
Come back and hear us talk about it on Thursday.
Yes.
Cheers.
Bye.